Hi, I'm Angela Non.
I'm Ariana Kempis.
And this is BRB Crying.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to BRB Crying. I'm Ariana, also known as Arns.
And I'm Angela, also known as Nins. And this is a little podcast.
A wee pod.
Where we cry our eyes out so that we can yap your ears off.
Oh,
I like that one.
That was cute.
That was cute, right?
Yeah.
Again, out of my ass every single week.
Beautiful.
Just trying to reinvent the project description that already took us weeks to
Why not reinvent the wheel? You know what I mean? Like, why not make things harder?
fix what isn't broken.
Yeah. Yes.
You know?
Agreed. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I really want to get my eyebrows done soon.
Okay.
And so like until they're done, I'll just be a little bit moody, you know?
That
That's
makes
like
sense.
the one thing I'm like, keep that routine up.
I
you
like
know?
that. Yeah.
Keep that upkeep. But my brow artiste was on vacation recently, so
Why? What the fuck?
yeah, that's it.
All right.
You know?
Yeah.
Vibing, crying. That's it.
What more could you ask for?
How about you?
I'm good. There was actually something that happened to me the other day that I was going to text you about. And I was like, oh, let me just I'll tell her on the pod.
Risky because you could forget.
I could forget. Yeah, you know what? The reason why I knew I wasn't going to forget was because I was like, should I talk about this on the pod? Like as my
Okay.
story? And then I was like, no, I don't think I can.
Okay.
So I'm just going to tell really quick
So you're
right now.
not going to talk about it
So
on
I'm
the
not
pod.
going to I mean, I'm not going to make it my main story.
I see.
So I had this appointment and the person who was helping me asked me about what I do for work.
Okay.
And I told her what I do for work and I was like, oh yeah, and also my other job.
Yeah.
Podcast, blah, 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 spiel.
Yeah.
Featured on Apple. You know,
Oh my
all
God,
that shit.
that sounds so cool.
Dude, honestly, when I say that, people are like, wait, what? That's fucking sick. So anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Duh. Can you imagine? Anyway, so we started talking because she was like, oh, I'm a big crier, blah, blah, blah. And she was telling me about the last time she cried. And I was like, I don't know if I should share, you know, her whole story here.
Sure.
It's not like I...
It's not like she's submitting a sob story.
Which she could. Hello at brbcryingpodcast.com. Submit a form on our website. But yeah, the gist of it was that she reunited with a lost love, the one that got away.
Oh.
And after like 15 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was so, I was crying when she was telling me about it. The point of it was we spend so much of our lives kind of waiting for these things to happen to us, wondering, when is it going to happen to me? Mm-hmm. And then we realize these things happen to us when we're at a point in our lives where we can appreciate them and when we're ready to receive them. Yeah, it was beautiful. I was crying. So yeah, it was a beautiful moment where I remembered that the point of all of this is just connecting. Mm-hmm. And even just random, who knows, she might not ever listen to the pod, but it was just such a point of connection that I probably normally wouldn't have with a stranger talking about something that intense and something so huge that, you know, happened to her. So yeah, it was really nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That's so sweet. So,
like they're getting married and like, yeah, he loves her kids, you know.
oh,
Yeah, it's good. So yeah, I'm good.
yeah.
Great.
Love that.
Love that. That's all I got.
That's your whole thing for today.
And now it's your turn. I did have one more announcement. I know that if you've been listening along, we've had our giveaway for a BRB Crying hat for leaving a review. And if you want to know if you won that beautiful green BRB Crying hat, go and check our socials at brbcrying.podcast.
But yeah, thank you so much to everyone who participated. We are so, so appreciative of everyone who has taken some part in this community, whether that's actually just listening to us or letting our messages resonate with you or actually giving us words of affirmation. We fucking love that shit.
Need it.
Need it. can't live without it.
Cannot.
So hats off to you.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. That's it.
That's it.
So what do you have for me today?
Well, earlier you asked if this episode was going to publish during the first week of March. Mm-hmm. And I had to pretend like I didn't do the girl math to calculate that already. Mm-hmm. Because that is exactly what I did. I waited to figure out what episode is going to be landing the first week of March. Because exactly 1 year ago, on this very week, I cried for, I'm not kidding you, I cried for 2 days straight. Beside myself. And that was because Miss Ariana Grande released her music video for the song We Can't Be Friends.
Wait, I never watched it.
I know you didn't.
Is today the day?
And I figured you didn't do that because you were probably waiting for me to cover it on the show.
Maybe subconsciously.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right.
Do you remember what I was like that weekend? I was texting you and Mar constantly, and I think I left you a voice note because I was trying to explain through hysterics.
Your voice was... Yeah.
I wasn't okay that weekend. Like, I was crying so hard, I fell asleep that I woke up with, like, swollen eyes.
Oh, my God.
Okay, well, today is the day that you are going to be watching this music video, and we are going to dive deep into it.
Okay. I'm ready.
So, sources for today, aside from the video, are a 2024 article by Leah Veloso for Stylecaster, a 2024 article by Jake Viswanathan for Bustle, and a 2024 interview Ariana Grande did with Zane Lowe for Apple Music. So, normally at this point in my story, I'd be like telling you a little bit about the artist, which, do I need to?
I don't think you do.
I don't think I need to.
Let's not waste our time.
It's Ariana Grande, biggest superstar of our generation. And for those that have been avid listeners to our pod, I've been pretty low-key over the last 25 episodes about how much I fucking love this bitch. I fucking love Ariana Grande, okay?
Yeah.
Ever since Honeymoon Avenue dropped in 2013, I've fucking been there, you know? Any favorite songs that you would like to shout out right now?
Ooh. Honestly, that entire album, Positions...
Oh, really?
That was the name of the album, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it was the album I would run to, so I knew exactly how fast I was getting, like, based on where I ended on her album.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one's kind of like a dark horse, or like, it's obviously perfect, but at the time, people were like, no.
No, I liked it.
No, it's fucking great. My hair, please. Are you kidding? Okay. So yeah, for my story today, I'm going to talk about both the music video and the song for We Can't Be Friends. This song is written by Ariana Grande, Max Martin, and Ilya Salmonzada, and it has this very synth pop sound. We will dive into that, but first, the music video as well, directed by Christian Breslauer and starring Miss Ariana Grande alongside Evan Peters. Are you familiar with Evan Peters at all?
I don't think so.
Okay. He was like big on American Horror Story. He's great. We love him. So the concept of the music video is heavily inspired by the 2004 movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, starring Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet. Incredible. I could do a whole...
And this is why I didn't watch the music video, because I've never watched that movie.
Okay.
And I was like, it was one of those things where I was like, oh, but I have to watch the movie. And then I have to watch it.
You just got to listen to your best friend talk about it for 40 minutes. Cool. So, without further ado, it is time that Arns finally watches this music video, and then we will get fucking into this.
Dang, we are starting it off with the video? Okay.
Dude.
I'm making my tissues ready.
Well, we didn't need context.
No, we
you
didn't.
fucking know.
I fucking know. Everyone fucking knows.
Everyone fucking knows. I'm gonna need a couple of minutes. That's fine. I had 48 hours where I was like this. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Oh my god. I should have watched it before because this is too much. Do you understand like why I literally for 2 days straight I was just like this. I was just like that. Okay, you guys, it's been 30 minutes. We had to collect ourselves. Any immediate thoughts? Anything that you want to...
I can't speak right now. Please just talk.
Okay. Well, you're not going to like what I'm going to say, so... All right. Just played Arns the music video. It fucking cuts you like a knife. So, music video opens up with Ariana Grande sitting in a waiting room of what looks like some sort of doctor's office. And she's filling out these consent forms, which reads, "You have given extensive thought behind your decision and give Brighter Days, Inc. the exclusive permission to remove this person completely from your memory." So Ariana reads this and checks the yes box and signs it. Her name in the music video is Peaches, which I think is a nod to Kate Winslet's character in the movie Eternal Sunshine. She's named Clementine in the movie. So anyway, Ariana Grande is called and brought into this doctor's room, and she brings this box of items with her. And she gets seated in this chair, and the staff begin connecting her to all this medical equipment. Monitors, wires, and scans of her brain are scattered throughout the room. And you see nurses sorting through the stuff in the box that Ariana brought in. I'm calling her Ariana because we are first name basis friends.
Yeah.
So this machine that she's tied to is scanning her brain and looking for every single memory that she has of someone and is removing that memory or distorting it in her mind so that it's like this person never even existed. And while she goes through this procedure, she is forced to relive the memories one more time before they're completely erased forever. So the music video jumps from scenes of her in the doctor's office to flashbacks of her and her ex-partner. Enter Evan Peters. So there's this memory of their date in some sort of arcade, and he wins her this cute little teddy bear, and that was one of the things in the box that she brought in. And then you watch as this entire memory fades to black in her mind. And at the end of the music video, the teddy bear gets destroyed. You get more flashbacks of their relationship, one of them fighting and him giving her silent treatment. But a lot of these other memories are just really intimate and beautiful scenes of them being happy, cuddling in bed or making snow angels. Both nods again to the original movie. She and him recreating the birthday cake scene in 16 Candles. They're just all these moments that seem so beautiful and happy, but they're all slipping away from her. You can deduce that the whole reason she's undergoing this procedure is because this relationship has come to an end. And instead of bearing the pain of a breakup, it seemed like an easier option to just forget it existed at all. But halfway through the procedure, as she's reliving all of these memories of them together, she realizes that she doesn't want to forget. And there's a scene where she fights the procedure and she wakes up. And she grabs at her necklace and she's pleading with the staff and saying through tears, "Please, can I keep this one?" And that's the part that fucking kills me every time. But of course, the staff's like, "No, we have to get them all. Otherwise, it's not going to work." So she relives this memory one last time. And it's of her and Evan sitting on the couch. And he gives her this necklace. And you watch as the memory is then altered. The necklace turns into a dog collar. And Evan turns into this big Labradoodle dog. And the moment in her mind is changed forever. The music video ends with Ariana successfully finishing the procedure. No more memories of Evan Peters. And the last scene is of her and Evan walking past one another. Both of them are with different partners now, and they're strangers again to one another. I don't think I need to over-explain the meaning behind this music video. Very simply put, sometimes relationships come to an end. And while the heartbreak can be so unbearably painful, it's even worse to erase that pain at the expense of also erasing its joy. We can't fully appreciate one without the other. I'm going to transition to diving deeper into the song itself, but
Please.
now that you've maybe had some time with it, is there anything?
Like you said, I don't know if there's much else to say. What's that really awful quote? It's better to have
Loved and lost than to have never loved at all.
like that's it.
Yeah, that's fucking it. I laugh at myself now because a year ago, again, where I was crying that entire weekend, I just kept fucking replaying it. I was like, babe, just turn it off. I just kept, okay, again, But, because I was so distracted by the plot of this music video, I didn't really listen to the song just by itself. And obviously the music video on the surface is very clearly about a romantic relationship. But it wasn't until I had calmed the fuck down and really looked at the lyrics and the context of Ariana Grande's life, especially at the time, that I realized that the song could be about a different type of relationship. We all know who the fuck Ariana Grande is. And whether or not you want to, you probably know at least a little bit about her personal life. Again, she's been famous since she was 15 years old. More than half of our lives, she's been a star. We have been reading and hearing about her for 17 years. And when you take in the idea of Ariana Grande as a globally recognized celebrity, you also have to recognize the scrutiny that comes with that level of fame. And this is a truth that is reiterated over and over again to us, that fame isn't everything. It too has its own set of pleasures and miseries. I know I stated in the beginning of the story that I adore Ariana Grande. I am a hardcore stan, but I am fully aware that I am a hardcore stan of the idea I have of her in my head of the carefully curated image that she and her team put out there for us to consume. I know that. I don't know her personally. And even though...
Wait, what?
I mean, I could. And even though I'm a fan, I'm not going to consider her infallible from her mistakes. But I'm also not here to speak about my opinions on her personal life or dissect all the stories and rumors about her, because I don't fucking know. I don't really know anything.
Like, we could talk about it and you still won't know.
Yeah. And also, that's not the point of what we do here on this couch. I'm only here to talk about shit that made me cry, and this was fucking one of them. So in the song, it seems like Ariana Grande is singing not about a romantic relationship, but about her relationship with fame and the press and all these people around the world who think that they know her. We can't be friends, but I'd like to just pretend. You cling to your papers and pens. Wait until you like me again. Wait for your love. Love, I'll wait for your love. When you dwell on these lines, it's so painful to me to hear this proclamation from Ariana in the song that she can't be fully friends with fame because it always comes back to bite her. But she can pretend like it's giving her everything that she's ever wanted, that it's all genuine happiness. And in those moments when it's anything but, she just has to wait until it's good again. And I know for a lot of us, it's really hard to empathize with someone who is rich and famous and beautiful and a global star who seems like she's out of touch with real people. She's not real to us. And even as I try to understand the feelings Ariana is expressing in the song, I'm not going to pretend that I will ever know what it feels like to be her, living through the highs and lows of fame and the ever-changing opinions of the masses. I have no fucking clue what that is like, nor do I want to. Mm-hmm. It's scary. But I know what it's like to want so desperately to be loved, to be accepted, to chase approval and affirmation, to feel understood. I think we can all relate to that, at least. I think that's what everybody wants, no matter who you are. And in our more reflective states, we may look back and wonder why we ever sought this approval in the first place, because we can get hurt when we seek that validation from the wrong things or the wrong people. And for me, I was trying to think about some of these really inconsistent relationships in my life, and I was like, it's the one that I have with myself. When I'm in those moments of such deep self-loathing and it feels so unbearable, I just beg and plead to fast forward to the moments when I like myself again. Usually it's after my period. But all this to say, to love and be loved in this world is a never-ending journey, with all the highs and lows scattered all throughout. I hope, if given the option, we choose to remember Every second of it.
You fucking got me, dude.
I knew I would. I was like, dude, she's a virgin to this music video. Watch out, bitch.
You could have warned me. That was so intense. I couldn't breathe. I was gasping for air. And what you're saying at the end, like this never-ending cycle of chasing your own approval. Like when you finally get there, it's kind of like what you were saying with the music video. Like you can't appreciate one without the other. Like you can't know how much you needed yourself.
Oh, there's fucking layers to it, dude.
I can't. My brain is like, it's just a little too much.
No, I know. Yeah, it took me like a year to formulate.
And then here you are making me respond to this. You gave me half an hour.
What'd you think? Exactly. No, I know. There's just so much to take in. And that interview that Ariana Grande did with Zane Lowe for Apple Music, she talks about how every time she had kind of introduced the song to a friend or family, they had all these different interpretations. I mean, it's messages that are applicable to so many things, to love in all its forms. Yeah. So for her, it could be fame. For us, it's just wanting to feel accepted.
I just had a vision. One day we're doing a live show in front of an audience, and then, you know, we hit each other with one of these, and then we're just gasping for air for half an hour
In front of real people.
And then I'm sitting here just in my thoughts for about 5 minutes. And people are like, this is very different from the podcast. Okay, listeners, you don't understand. When she edits so beautifully these episodes, she's cutting out a lot of just me being like head in my hands, like fuck.
Staring to the ceiling.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? No, I know. I get it. This one's fucking heavy. It slaps you in the fucking face.
Yeah. Whoa.
Would you ever watch it again, or are you like scarred for life? I think you should watch it in your own time.
You think I should sit there and watch it again over and over again, like what you did a year ago?
Yeah, desensitize yourself.
Clearly that didn't work for you because you were still crying watching it.
I was crying because I was like feeling you relive it for the first time, you know? Just like, oh man, this must really suck for her.
Is that empathy? Damn. Yeah.
Okay. We good?
We're good. So today, you may have noticed I'm wearing my favorite earrings. For those of you listening, not watching, I'm wearing these recycled brass earrings from this Filipino-American brand. It's called Ma'ari. I don't know if I've ever told you about these earrings. So the shape of the earrings is a circle, but instead of connecting at the bottom, the two edges of the circle point upward and inward.
Okay.
So in the Philippines, the symbol is called linglingo. And according to the Ma'ari website on the product description, this ancestral amulet represents the perfect union of feminine and masculine energies. I think quite literally, it's like a uterus and a penis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can I see?
Yeah. Watchers, listeners. Yeah.
Oh.
So it's like,
Okay.
yeah. But anyway, by balancing these energies, we have the power to create and bring forth life. So the lingling-o is just one of many examples of indigenous pre-colonial cultures kind of transcending the gender binary, because by holding this feminine energy and this masculine energy and everything in between, it becomes this symbol of interconnectedness. So today, I wanted to talk about someone who I think encapsulates the same wisdom and power and creativity and transcendence. And that is none other than Alok Vaid-Menon.
Okay.
Do you know who they are?
Maybe not.
Okay. All right.
Well, I'm about to.
You're about to fucking find out. Okay, so Alok is a performance artist, a poet, a comedian, author, activist, actor, fashion icon, and so much more. They are gender nonconforming and trans feminine, and they use they, them pronouns. They're well renowned in the trans and non-binary movement. 1.5 million followers on Instagram, very casually famous. And this sounds kind of ridiculous to say, but they're just so fucking smart. The vibe, this is what I wrote. The vibe is speech and debate, super, super sharp, like will cut down every counter argument. Like you don't even want to get into it, but they're also so funny and witty and sarcastic and wise. Ugh.
Like, let me sit here in awe while you destroy me.
Yes. 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 Okay. So they are really just this source of light and compassion and a model for what it means to unapologetically be yourself. Even when the world tries to erase you and you don't fit into this neat little box. And right now they're actually doing a world tour for their new stand-up show. Get your tickets. I'll link it in the show notes. Okay, so some brief context about Alok. My sources for today are an interview on Roadbook by Mohsen Zaidi, published in May 2024, titled Alok on Courage, Comedy, and Exploring Beyond the Gender Binary. And then there's also Alok's own website, which is alokvaid-menon.com. There's an interview on Afar magazine, an interview with Alok Vaid-Menon on identity, queerness, and travel. And then there is also a glad.org article that is titled Alok Talks Trans Joy and the Absurdity of Societal Hatred in a New Comedy Special. And then there is the comedy special itself, which is called Biology, and it was released in January 2025. So Alok grew up in an Indian American household in Texas. So they hailed from a really, really conservative area. Of course, constant target of bullying and harassment. And so they turned to art and poetry as this outlet, and it just kind of saved their life.
Art tends to do that.
Yeah. And when asked about first getting into comedy, Alok said that they started performing poetry on stage, but realized, quote, doing hard-hitting poems about grief and trauma, one after the other, was kind of a buzzkill. So then they started adding in comedy, and they just fell in love with it because of the way it so intentionally creates this space of joy. And another thing about Alok that is so fucking incredible is how they respond so eloquently to hate comments. Because you can imagine so many, I mean, it's just constant, a barrage. One example of a hate comment was, be yourself, no problem with that, really. But I find this disgusting, sorry. Oh, God. Yeah, obviously, fucking fuck you, right?
Off.
Which is what, I think most of us would say.
Oh, yeah.
Precisely. This is Alok's reply. I'm sorry, right back at you. I'm gonna cry. Sorry you have such a narrow worldview. I can see it's hurting you. It must be exhausting to feel as if your worth comes from winnowing yourself down to other people's opinions of who you should be. Shame is interrupted joy, and I believe you are worth joy. I know that might feel impossible right now, but I believe in miracles because I am one, and so are you. I am rooting for you, meaning I am rooting my feet on this earth with arms wide open, here to welcome you when you're ready to come home.
Oh. Reply. Fuck off, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly. But
oh my God.
Yeah. And to be trans and non-binary and brown and also such a public figure, it's such a vulnerable place to be. You're so susceptible to this hate and harassment and violence.
Yeah.
And being yourself is just so courageous in a way that cis hetero people like us just will never have to experience it. But to be compassionate like that in the face of hate is honestly, it's astounding. Their self-love and healing is so unshakable.
Sorry, I'm already connecting our two stories.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's too much.
It's too much, yeah. It's so unshakable that it penetrates even the darkest corners of the world. All right, so now we're going to just get into it. So I want to talk about Alok's most recent comedy special, which is called Biology. I follow Alok on Instagram, so I'd seen snippets, and they were so good and so smart. And I was just kind of waiting for a spare hour, hour 20 to watch this. And then I finally did. I was so excited. And the thing is, it's called a comedy special. But much like our pod, comedy is, it's...
You gotta dig deep in there.
You gotta dig deep. And Alok even prefaces this at the beginning of the show. They say that they're going to transition between comedy and poetry, but they won't give a heads up because that's kind of what life is like. And I was like,
okay, sure.
Yeah, sure. Mistake. So I'm going to play you, it's about a 10-minute clip. Listeners, if you want to follow along, I'm starting from the 22 and a half minute mark up until like 31 and a half minutes.
That would be my biggest fear, to be the one in the audience laughing as they transition to something serious.
I know.
I'd be like, oh, fuck. I will leave.
No.
I'll excuse myself.
Yeah, it's so jarring.
Yeah.
Okay, so I played it for Nins, and this segment, I started with Alok is joking about how, did you know white people can make art and their art is drawing borders between countries? So fucking smart. Again.
God, I love their vibe. Yeah. Oh my God.
And the outfit?
Oh my God.
Dude, every outfit is, oh my God, incredible. So anyway, it very suddenly transitions to Alok talking about their grandfather dying and what that experience was like for them. And it is a whirlwind of a tribute. I feel like in their poem, you experience just all these emotions. And I think poet is really the word that stands. I mean, yeah, it has almost like a spoken word vibe. Mm-hmm. It's so good. But I have like two quotes that stuck with me. And the thing is, it's happening so quickly that it's like you're just trying to process what they were just saying. And then they're moving on to, wait, can you pause? So one of the quotes was, "Sometimes truth is a prescription with too many side effects, so we lie to the people we love. We cradle them in our perjury beam, promises like those devices that project stars on the ceiling like, these are real, the galaxy is yours. I will make the universe bend for you. Everything you want is yours." And then another quote, "I was mad that no one had ever told me that this is what a peaceful death looks like. That no one had ever told me that dying is the longest verb, is a material that stretches and stretches until it suddenly snaps back into your face like a yo-yo trick gone wrong." There are so many other cool, I mean, if I could, I would just read the whole thing. But again, we were warned that the special was going to play out like this, but I paid no heed. And I think when I first watched this, that's why I was crying so hard, because it had been like up until this 22-minute mark, just jokes. And so when this happened,
that was the first time.
This was the first, and I was like, oh fuck. And I was like I also couldn't breathe. Like it was just so much at once, and it was such a pivot. Mm-hmm. And one moment you're in the thick of this bit and you're like laughing at how fucked up our world is. And then suddenly you're plunged into the depths of grief. And I think that it's just this incredible reminder that the injustices that marginalized people face, they're all cerebral, they're in our heads. Like all the suffering stems from constructs that are created by people whose hearts are full of fear. And, within all of us, even those people whose hearts are full of fear, is the feeling that Alok evokes through this segment, this humanness that transcends labels and categories and binaries, because all of us know pain and loss and grief. There's just no room for bigotry when we're united by the universality of our feelings. And yet, our reality is that we live in this world full of constructs and dehumanization and erasure. And in the thick of Alok's grief, they must also somehow bear witness to their grandfather's pain and trauma in order to make sense of their grandfather's time here on Earth. It's heavy, but when we remember someone, we have to hold their pain and their suffering because it shaped them. I mean, it's kind of like when you were talking about in your segment, those moments, even when they feel like you've hit rock bottom, like that is part of you, that is part of your story. And so as we kind of straddle these two worlds, one is full of these constructs and failed leadership and people refusing to acknowledge their own neighbor's humanity. And then this other world where we're all just human. We're all just feeling the same feelings. I think that maybe all we can do is exactly what Alok does in this special. Fight these oppressive systems while trying to stay grounded in the humanness that unites us all and just keep showing up in ways that feel true to us. Make art that moves people and love hard, seek healing, choose joy. And honestly, do it all while wearing some really fucking rad outfits.
That last paragraph, you could literally replace Alok with Ariana Grande. It would be the same exact paragraph.
Yeah.
No, I love that. I loved all of that. Yeah, Ariana Grande's fame is a social construct. Mm-hmm. The oppression is a construct. Mm-hmm. And underneath all of that is just fucking being human.
Yeah.
What if we all remembered that we all feel this way?
It's funny because I wrote this whole thing, and then of course I come across this quote from an article on GLAAD, and Alok says, "Biology, which is the name of the special, is in constant motion, and so is life. The point that I'm making in the show is that the real biology that's being erased isn't gender. It's the fact that we die. And when we remember that, then all of this time that's spent wasted hating other people becomes seen as the true comedy. So it's kind of a meta commentary on how, from the perspective of death, most of living is just stand-up comedy because so many people are just wasting their precious time on Earth investing in hatred." But yeah, if we could just remember and tap into what's in here,
I think we just have to celebrate, again, those artists like Alok who can share their beautiful mind with the world. Sorry?
Dying is the longest verb. What the fuck? When I heard that, I was like, what? Where?
Do they know how dumb I am all the time? They must, because they were like, I need to tell this girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of them before.
Yeah. And that's the thing. All the snippets of the special were funny. They're coming to, I think, SF in June. So I'm like, should I get tickets? Should I get tickets, or am I just going to sit there just being dumb?
I'm laughing at all the wrong moments.
Yeah, I'm just I'm really dumb, and thank God for people like Alok.
Yeah. That's someone who's oh, that's a fucking light in this world.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There was a line in that monologue where, I don't have the exact verbiage, but it was something about how when you love someone, you have to love all of them, and then you have to miss all of them. Mm-hmm. And I was like,
yeah, I know. When I came across that line again when we were watching, I was like, oh, I should have written that one down, because that was exactly.
Wait a second.
Yeah, it's rough out here.
It's fucking rough for two dumb bitches.
Yeah.
Who constantly get humbled every day.
Yeah, but you know what? I hope that you all, dear listeners, I hope you're smarter than us, but I hope that if you're as dumb as us, this pod helps you kind of grasp the world a little bit more, because I feel like it does for me.
Oh, yeah. No, every day.
Yeah.
I just sit here humbled as fuck. Like, wow, I don't know shit. Look at all these people that have to keep repeatedly telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so much to learn from everyone's humanness.
Isn't it beautiful to realize how much you have left to learn and how you will never stop learning? Mm-hmm. We're academics here.
Mm-hmm. The dumbest academics.
The dumbest. Should we rebrand? All right.
Cool.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in again. It's been fun.
Has it? You had a fun today?
I mean,
you call that fun?
Painful. Painful with a couple laughs sprinkled in. Mm-hmm. But truly, we always appreciate you listening and lending us your ears for an hour or so. If you feel so compelled, please give us a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify. If you have any stories, any sob stories to share with us, anything that has made you cry, any suggestions for cry material, email us at hello@brbcryingpodcast.com or submit a form on our website, brbcryingpodcast.com, or you can DM us on all socials at brbcrying.podcast.
Yep. And if you're lazy and you don't want to do that, even if you just tell a friend about this pod, we would love that. If you want to highly recommend us to someone you love, don't tell us because we will cry about it, but just like do it, you know?
Yeah.
That would be great too.
Truly, truly, for a little pod like us, just sharing it with people is probably one of the best things that you could do to help us get in other people's ears and hearts.
Thanks. Love ya.
Thanks. Love you. Bye.
Okay. That's it.
That's it.
We'll see you next week. But until then,
BRB crying.